It's Ticky's Trinkets here, and today I have for y'all another polymer clay tutorial. Today I'm going to be making a ring. I'm going to be making Vanessa from Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. And again, this is going to be a ring, which I should have grabbed the base out. Just keep little ring bases handy in this little bag. Somebody gave me some art stuff in. Well, you know, I bought something from them. And the stuff just came in that cute little baggie, so now I just keep spare bases close by. Now I have a base sitting there so I can indent it to make the shape. And I'm also going to make Gregory later, so I have those colors up there. But we're only using these four right here for Vanessa. And we're going to start with the lightest color, so we're starting with beige. And this is going to be for her eyes. This is going to be for her hat. This is going to be for her hair, obviously. Now we're going to take our blade, which is still dirty, so I'm just going to clean this off. I'm still learning the new video editor, so the audio is going to be wonky for a little while. Some things are going to be too quiet, some things are going to be way too loud. I'm really trying to learn as I go. I'm watching YouTube tutorials on stuff to learn it too, so I'm doing my best. Okay, I'm going to sit down and get started on this. While I'm working, I'm not watching anything in particular at the moment, but I feel like I should be talking about something, so I guess let's update about my life again, as usual. Also, this is going to be a set that goes along with the... Let me knock everything over. That's what I want to do. That goes along with the sun and the moon charms from Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. These ones have glow-in-the-dark eyes with glow-in-the-dark clay. And Vanessa and Gregory are going to be part of this set. I would do a fifth character for this ring set, but that's not an option because there is no other characters that I know of yet for the game. Unless the game comes out and then there's some other secret character we didn't know about. But as of right now, I don't think there is. I don't want this too big because she's going to have hair on the back of her head. So I'm going to keep playing around with the size to get it how I like. There we go. That looks a little bit nicer. Now we're just going to roll it into an egg shape. I always do that for faces. Alright, that side's got a weird smudge. This got a little less, so we're going to go with this side. Put it on the workstation, slide these up. And I always use the very center of my palm. Let me make sure I'm in frame. Okay, yeah, I'm in frame enough. It's enough. Now, with the rings, I do them more simplistic. They're not going to have eyes. Pardon me. They're going to have eyes. They're not going to have nose and mouths for the humans. I know I did it for them, but I'm not going to do it for the human characters. I'm just going to be a little more simple with them. Kind of like, I always compare my rings to like a pop figure. If you collect pop vinyls. There we go. That's cute. Alrighty. So now she also needs ears, which I'm not going to put on right now. I'm going to do that after I make her hair. Actually, you know what? Her hair covers up her ears, so guess what? We don't have to make ears. I'm just going to take that, roll it back up into a rough ball, and we're done with the beige. Also, I'm doing smaller tutorials right now, like rings and stuff like that, and stickers, because I'm still trying to learn how to edit, so this is going to be a slow roll. I'm just going to put this under here. Okay, so we can go ahead and make the eyes. Then we can do the hair. Well, no. Okay, I'll do the eyes last because I have to indent the head on the back of the ring base so it's more secure. Oh gosh. Is that from the mat? It indented the back of her head. I guess it don't matter because we're going to have hair. So as I was saying, we should do her hair first, actually. Which would be the harder part. Unfortunately. But oh well. Her hair's just got like a lot of little peaks and twists, so that's the main thing. So I'm going to take this... Oh jeez. I'm going to take this, roll this. I'm going to do her ponytail separately because she does have a ponytail. This is just going to be the top of her hair, even though I'm making it into a teardrop shape. This is not, I repeat, not the ponytail. Now we need something to roll it out with. Okay, and the other thing I was going to say about my life, because I know I haven't been talking about it much, was that I've gotten quite a bit of Etsy sales and a lot of new subscribers, so thank you guys so much for subbing. Welcome to the bunny patch. That's what I'm calling it now. You are my bunnies, and this is the bunny patch. I thought it was cute. I think I've said it once before, but I was like, oh, that's too cheesy. But no, I'm sticking with it. I like it. Whether you guys like it or not, oh well, you're now my bunnies. At least you're adorable and cute. And fluffy. Don't forget fluffy. Fluffy is the most important part. Okay, so with this, we don't need her hair to be round at the top. We can do it flat where her bang line meets. That way we can just do her bangs overlapping the flat part. And again, she has a hat on, so that's not too important either. I'm going to take this and make this a little more flat this way. There we go. Because of that, it rolled that back out just a smidge. So we're just going to cut that back off. Now we're going to take her head, line it up about to the back of the head. There we go. And I guess I'm going to do the basic shape first, which is the rounded shape. The whole point is that these don't have as much detail, you know what I mean? Okay, so we got that. Now I'm going to cut that tip off too. That's not necessary. There we go. Now we're going to curl these edges. So again, thanks for the new subs. Also, thanks for the new Instagram followers too, to the people who are following me on Instagram. And if you're not, why aren't you? I'm just kidding. But seriously, go check out my other social medias. I have been posting on Pinterest a little bit more lately. I'm being more active on Twitter more than I used to be too. So that's always a good thing too. Alright, there we go. Now that looks like some hair. Now all I'm going to do is smooth these edges down. So it looks more like how her hair kind of curves into her face. Same thing with the bottom. I'm just going to curve that in. The key to working with clay is to smooth and hold it very gently. You know how Thomas Jefferson always said, carry a big stick? We're going to carry clay very lightly. Tread softly and carry your clay lightly. Okay, that looks good. Again, I know she got a bald spot, but she gonna have a hat and all kinds of other little curly bits and bobs on her hair, so she ain't gotta be perfect on that part. That is a-okay. Just make sure this is nice and curved on this side to match the other side. There we go. Okay, wonderful. Now we want to make her bangs. So we already got this little piece here that I cut off. So I'm just going to take this and cut this in half. As soon as I can get it to stop sticking to me, that would be great. There we go. Now we can use this little bit as her bangs on the right side. And she kind of has a curve. There we go. We need it right above the eye. But not too far down so it doesn't reach on the eye. That way I still have room to put the eye there. There we go. That's cute. That's very, very cute. Flatten it down because it doesn't have to be too bulbousy. It's a ring. We want it to be small enough to wear comfortably. Now the other side, we're just going to do this part, but have it come inward instead of going outward on the little tip. And again, this isn't going to quite reach the top of the hat. You know what I mean. It's not going to be that big. It's still going to have a gap here, but it doesn't matter because again, we are going to have a hat on. So that can hide all these little bald spots, so to speak. There we go. Wonderful. Now we need little curly pieces. So I'm just going to take this little bit that I already had here and use it to make little curly pieces that kind of just come off of her hair as such. Just kind of use this tool to kind of play around and get the shape how you want it. I also have a reference photo of the Vanessa sculpture that the FNAF crew made pulled up on my computer for reference. What else is new in my life right now? I'm trying to remember. That shouldn't be that hard to figure out. Like I said, Etsy sales are great. What do you call it? What else? New subs, which again, thank you. New Instagram followers, thank you. There we go. Again, being more active on social media. That looks nice. Nice little curly bit, and now we want one or two on the other side, so I'm just going to take this and roll this out because it's starting to look a little janky. There we go. I know I'm getting quiet, but I'm focusing so hard on this little pieces of hair here. There we go. Just want to blend this into the hair naturally. Also, this tip's not dirty, it's just permanently stained because out of all my rubber tools, I tend to use this rounded one the most because it's just the best for like rolling and blending. There we go. I kind of hit it over here, so I'm trying to fix. Beautiful. Okay, I want that down just a smidge bit more. Oh, and I've been posting it all over my social media, and there was a YouTube video about it that just went up about a week or two ago about me making stickers. I'm finally getting back into drawing in a major way. I am going to be making stickers. I already have my first set. It's just a Ticky's Trinkets based sticker set right now up. But I've sold one so far, so yay! One is better than none. I'm going to make this a little bit shorter. And it is $10, but it is free shipping. And you get a total of 6 stickers, even though 5 are shown. The other one is a mystery variant, color variant of one of the stickers in the set. There we go. Unfortunately, tracking is not available for letter mail. I know some people pay a way to do it, but it would cost you guys a lot more. And I think free sounds a whole lot better than charging more. Plus, since I'm just now getting into it, I'm learning how to do all this. Because mailing letter mail is a whole lot different from mailing a package. At least on Etsy it is. Believe it or not, it's more difficult than mailing a package on Etsy. Okay, that looks good. Now I'm just going to do the ponytail. We don't quite need all that, but we'll cut off what we don't need. Actually, that's way too much. There we go. That'll be a more reasonable amount. And the stickers came out really good. It was hard learning how to use Krita. Plus, it's really hard learning how to use Shotcut, my new video editor. So that's also a whole ordeal in its own. Okay, we want this to match kind of like how her hair is. Flatten that bad boy out just ever so slightly. I'm going to have it blend into the hair just by smeshing it. There we go. And then just sticking that right on top. There we go. Then I don't really need to blend this entirely because it is a ponytail, so I can just kind of leave it like that. Although it is going to get messed up when I push the ring base on it, so might as well just, yeah, there we go. I like to put the ring bases about center, so that would just get ruined, so it really don't matter. Okay. Now, we got that looking cute. Cute as the dickens. I just keep constantly smoothing. I am going to clean this with cotton swabs, but I'll probably do that off camera because I don't want this video to be super long. And I think it's already way longer than I'm thinking it is. Okay, now I want to make sure I'm centered, which I'm not quite centered. Sorry if this is reflecting into the camera. Oops. Trying to get that back. Right about there. Then we want to press this down so it'll indent into the head ever so slightly. I say ever so slightly and I'm gouging it in there. I know I'm a hypocrite when it comes to what I'm saying versus what I'm doing for art. Okay, there we go. Now we have a whole... That's just so it's more secure on the bases, because I was worried about my rings falling off these bases if they're not indented. But nobody's ever told me that's happened, and I've worn some of them, and I've never had that happen. But I still want to maybe go on the preemptive side to make that a little more secure. And I thought that was fine. Okie dokie. Cute. Now we got all the yellow done. Oh, my computer's trying to go to sleep. Now all I'm going to do is make the eyes and make the hat. And then she'll be done. I'm going to do the eyes next because, again, I'm trying to do lightest to darkest. I'm just cutting off just a very small amount. Because the eyes really don't take much clay. That's probably more than I actually need. Yeah, that's way more. I'm going to cut that in half. Well, about 75-25. And I'll use the bigger half. Then I'm going to cut this in half to make the eyes. So we want them to try to be symmetrical. With clay and making things by hand, nothing's ever 100%, but still. Just trying to scrape off the little excess bits here. There we go. That's still way bigger than it needs to be. And if you're wondering how I know that, it's just by feel. I can't explain this other than I know the feel of what the size is supposed to be like at this point. That's more so the size we want. So I'm going to take this, cut this down to size just a little bit more. There we go. That's still probably a little bit bigger than I need on the right one, so I'm going to probably size that down. After I go ahead and roll this out 3 times, I'll place it on the face. And again, don't worry about this dirt and dust. I'm going to remove that later with alcohol and cotton swabs. But if you've been watching for a while, you already know that. There we go. And if you're wondering why I'm making her eyes green, it's because when I look at this sculpture, it looks like she has green eyes. Even though everybody's giving her yellow eyes, I'm looking at it now, they look green in a lot of other images I'm seeing, and especially on the sculpture. So I'm going with green. 1, 2, 3. Sometimes I need to do a little more than 3. But you know, that just gives you a good general consensus. Oh yeah. This right eye is way too big. You can just see that. I'm gonna resize the right eye down. I could make the left one bigger, but I think this is a more reasonable size. So I'm just gonna peel this off gently so we don't take off too much beige color with it. Luckily these colors don't bleed much. Put the excess back in the pack. And try this over again. Trying to keep the other one straight in the meantime. There we go. That looks a lot more reasonable. More evenly sized. Now it makes the left look a slight bit bigger. But again, it's never going to be 100% symmetrical. Asymmetry is this part of art. Let's keep that in mind. Okay, there we go. Trying to make sure they're leveled on the top and bottom. we go. Cute. Just making sure the back's still looking good. That got smashed a little. If you do something like this and after you bake you need to fix it, like make the hole bigger or something, I have a helpful hardware video about this tool. And it's essentially like a saw, but it's not rough on your skin, but it will cut the crap out of some clay. Alrighty. There we go. Now, last but not least, let's make our hat. While I'm pulling this out, let me make sure I'm still recording. 20 minutes deep. Wow. I bet you guys are tired of hearing me talk. Normally, I wash my hands in between stuff, but since we're running so low on time, because I don't want this to be too long. Although, I think a lot of my videos lately have been too long. Alright, so what I'm going to do is roll this into a ball, then roll this kind of into like an oval/log shape. Take that oval/log, set it on my workstation, press it down with the palm of my hand. Sometimes the sides of my hand, keep pushing it back in to make sure it stays this nice little rounded oval shape. Now to lift this up, I'm going to just take this blade and slide it underneath. Gently yet firmly. We don't want to scrape up our workstation, which I did a little, but it's all good. Okay, now this is going to be her hat. So we're just going to take this. Actually, that needs to be a lot bigger. Who am I kidding? That just don't even look like her hat. Well, believe it or not, I haven't done many hats. I'm going to try a different technique. I'm going to do the teardrop technique. I need that to be bigger. The hat also has a bill on it, so I'm going to do that. Then after that, I'm going to bake it and everything, and we'll be done. But I'm not going to show you the baking part on camera. I'm going to do that off camera. The baking, the glazing, the gluing, that part, I'm going to do off camera. Okay, there we go. So now I'm going to take this, flatten it out a little. We're just trying to make that same hat shape. Sometimes when you try one way to make something, if it don't work right, try another way. Now I'm just twisting and pinching over and over to try to spread this circle out some. Oh, by the way, my Etsy shop's on sale until Mother's Day in honor of Mother's Day. So you can get that automatically at checkout. You don't even have to do anything. It just automatically applies if your order total is eligible. You need to spend $20 in order to receive 15% off. There we go. Now that's looking a whole lot more cute. We do have to cover up all her bald spots, so we have to make sure this is big enough or wide enough to cover up her bald spots. Which we're getting there. It still needs to be a little bit bigger though. So I'm just going to take this back together, add a little more. And instead of rolling it into a teardrop, I'm just going to keep it into a ball shape. And then just cut about a quarter of the way off. There we go. And I want this to be wider to cover up all these spots that are empty up here. So I'm just going to take this and roll it to be wider. And curving your hand can kind of keep the curve shape. There we go, so see? That way it's wider plus still curved. Alright. Now I'm just going to take it, stick it on her head. Okay, I'm back. I didn't mean to cut abruptly there, but I dropped it on the floor. And I had to fix it and get as much of the hair off as possible. But yeah, while I was off screen, I went on ahead and fixed her hat up too. I need to fix her little baby hairs there. Better. Now that looks good. Make sure the back's still nice and indented. Looks good enough. Also, while I was off camera, I rolled out a ball and cut it in half. Rolled out a ball flat, a black ball flat, and then cut it in half. So this is going to be the bill to the hat. So now I'm just going to take this little semicircle and stick it on curved, because it is curved. soon as I can get that blended out nice and neatly. Ta-da! We have a tiny whiny Vanessa little charm slash ring. You can see right there where it hit something when I hit the floor. Oh, my poor girl. Now I'm just going to clean this off with cotton swabs and rubbing alcohol. Fixing her ponytail too. And bake it for 350 degrees. Well, I've turned it down to 300 actually for rings because they're smaller than my normal stuff. So 300 degrees for only 10 minutes instead of 12 minutes. Or 11. You can kind of play around with your oven, see how your oven runs. Mine runs kind of low and slow. My fiance's oven is electric. His runs super hot, super fast. So it just depends on your oven. I know my nails look like crud. Anywho, that is a tiny whiny little Vanessa. I'm not going to write security on her hat because that's just too much of the small details. I'm just going to clean this off, get this bad boy in the oven and do all that. And I'll come back to you. Well, I'll just show you a picture at the end of it. I'm not going to come back because this video is long enough, so I'm just going to show you a picture. And we'll roll into the out. Well, I'll show you the pictures of like the baking and stuff, and then we'll roll into the outro. Okay, I'm done. Love you guys so much, and see you in the pictures. Okay, so it was at that point that I realized I was supposed to actually put a nose on her, and I didn't. So I made the nose separately off camera and went on ahead and glued it onto her face. Then after that, I went on ahead and cleaned it off with rubbing alcohol, nice and squeaky clean, to make sure there's no dust or debris on it. Then after that, I decided to go ahead and bake it for 350 degrees at about 12 to 11 minutes, not very long. Then I glued it to the ring base. After that, I decided to go ahead and glaze it up with polyacrylic floor varnish, and then you guys are done. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I can't wait to see you guys in next week's video, which I'll tell you about at a later time. Alright, thank you guys so much. I love you all very much. Bye-bye, my bunnies.